Hello, my name is Avi Friedman. I'm the author of the book A Place in Mind, The Search for Authenticity, which was published by Vehicle Press. The idea to write the book came one winter day when I sat in a Montreal food court. I had a cold that day and the locale did not offer any comfort. It was a banal place with tables bolted to the ground, dim light, bad loud music which lacked any character at all. I began to wonder what makes a good place. Can designer choreograph places to become good? Or, with time, do good places make themselves? In my mind, I began to recall unique places that I visited over the years that were etched in my memory. On a napkin, I drew up a list of the places that I visited. Some were near, some were far. There were small ones like a restaurant, for example, or big size one like a civic square. What makes them unique? Most I found had a story to tell, a story that was rooted in their history or the way the place appeared. Others were humbling in their simplicity and abject poverty. Some were engaging. You felt that you were embedded in the scene and the place. There were those which had breathtaking beauty. I remember them all because of their authenticity. They were simply unique. Something in them, the core idea or the makeup of the place, was different. Each place evokes an idea that derives from my experience in that place. When walking in Fargo on a cold day, I thought about the relationship between place and nature. When I stumbled into a soapstone sculpture in Iqaluit in the Canadian Arctic, I thought about public art, and in New York, England, I thought about public squares. I would like to share with you my recollection and observations about some of the spots as they appear in the book. I arrived to Istanbul on a hot June day. The city that spans 2 continents and touches the Sea of Marmara had old buildings and some more modern ones. I visited the non-architectural site, including the very impressive Hagia Sophia. After walking for a while, I needed to rest, and by chance, I entered an off-the-road courtyard tea house. It was an old structure with domes and grape wine covering a yard. There were a cushy sofa and carpets hanging from a plaster wall, and I began to relax. I realized that what makes this spot so comfortable is time. The place simply aged gracefully. I also realized that old, notable buildings took a long time, often centuries, to construct. Attention was paid to a choice of material, articulation of details and artifacts, and sculpture that will adorn the facades. New buildings, attractive as they might be, are designed to impress, but not always to last centuries. Our collective patience, the time that it took to build all buildings, seems to have vanished. We are in a constant search for immediate gratification. Good places need time to age gracefully and adhere themselves to their location. When proper choice of material is made and we let time to do its thing, authentic places will emerge. I like marketplaces. I enjoy walking in them. I love their smell, their sounds, and the images that one sees. In fact, for many years I lived next to one. I went to Dalian in China to attend a conference. I was jet-lagged and I woke up early. I left my hotel and stumbled into a unique marketplace. It was an open space between apartment buildings where a direct exchange between farmers and fishermen and local citizens took place. It was a raw trade of fresh produce, much like old times, without the trappings of a fancy commerce. In the chapter Turnips in Dalian, I described the evolution of markets and their importance to the development of trade and currency. I also reflected on markets as an urban social magnets, where people meet to hear news. Old-fashioned market, unfortunately, disappeared in the past few decades. They were replaced by supermarkets where one can buy frozen, convenient goods. In recent years, we have witnessed the resurgence of farmer markets and public market. We need to do our best to reintroduce them because their immense contribution to the social fabric of every community. Walkability and its effect on sense of place is another aspect that I chose to write about. The idea to explore the subject came to me in Kfar Saba, a city with a population of 50,000 in Israel. Homes in that town are built above stores. What makes the place unique is a network of pathways between the homes. The town was designed to be highly walkable with connections between major social and commercial hubs. People are walking in shaded places built with benches and lampposts. Walkability stopped to be part of our vocabulary in the design of many towns in North America. We unfortunately are chained to our cars and cannot reach many spots without driving to them. Lack of walkability led to inactivity and obesity that is clearly not contributing to healthy living. Pedestrian and bicycle paths can be made part of every neighborhood. They foster a healthy lifestyle and also let people meet each other and form social networks. I arrived to Tijuana, a town in Mexico located near the border with San Diego, at the invitation of Manuel Rosen, the dean of the local School of Architecture. He offered to show me one of the squatter settlements around the town. When I arrived to the settlement, I was struck by what I saw. Shacks were built all over the valley. I have not seen such poverty in my life before. I wandered around the narrow pathways on the squatter settlement and found myself in front of a shack which also served as a local grocery store. It was a basic place, as one can find, without utility, yet despite the poverty, it seemed that the place, the home, the neighborhood, had some sort of soul. I began to reflect on our never-ending craving for material wealth and what our desire does to the environment. How many trees we cut to build a home, and how much energy we consume when the house is constructed and used. I spent many years designing affordable homes and communities. I maintain that beautiful places can be built while leaving a small footprint on the environment. We don't need as much roads, large buildings, sprawling communities as we have them now. I'm also intrigued by the disappearance of play spaces. I was born in a small town called Petah Tikva in Israel, in one of the units that you see in the image. When I try to recall my childhood, I don't seem to remember the interior of my home as much as I remember the outdoor, the places in which I play, run, and spend a great deal of time. In particular, I remember the play area behind my home, where I spend a lot of time with friends, acquiring elementary social skill and having fun. Play spaces used to be an integral part of our neighborhood's design. Kids used to play on streets, back lanes, and near home. You are likely, however, to find kids nowadays in front of television sets or computer screen. In the chapter I wrote about the evolution of play and its importance to the evolution or the development of kids. The towns was designed to be highly walkable with connections between major social and commercial hubs. People are walking in shaded places built with benches and lampposts. Casole d'Elsa is a small Tuscan hill town with a unique beauty. I came to Casole to watch the local palio, a traditional horse race. I stood among spectators waiting for the horses to arrive. I admired the camaraderie among the spectators and the relationship that I saw in the hand gesture and conversations. After the race, I wandered in the town's narrow street and contemplated whether the urban design of a place can affect the relationship between the people who live there. Looking at the way was built during the centuries, the attached home, the narrow streets, the people who sit at corners and squares, I realized that there is a grain of truth in this thought. I truly believe that places can affect people's behavior. In the past few years, we did all that we could do to spread out. We raise point of possible contact between people. We have low-density neighborhoods, wide roads, no trees, and very few benches. Common sense needs to be brought back to the design of communities. We need to reintroduce basic features that have been taken from them, such as civic square, corner stores, and narrow streets. I enjoy writing a place in mind. I hope that you will enjoy reading it and you will visit the other spots that I described in the book, and they will provoke some thoughts and ideas in your mind. Thank you.